blanket, feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright. Echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Hey, how are you all? It is good to be back on this Friday night with all of you after a couple of days break. Well, a day. Good to see you all. Good to have you back. We're going to talk about one of the most whack stories I have ever, I think I've ever listened to. And I had to share it with all of you because we've talked about some catfishing tales before, especially that one in Australia about a decade ago. But this one might take the cake. And I'll explain it to you. There's a documentary that came out overnight. It is called Unknown Number, based on a catfishing sort of story. I'm going to explain more about it to you in a minute. But it's actually based on it's a criminal case, but I don't want to tell you too much, because if I do, I will blow the story for you, and I don't want to do that straight away anyway. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Danny Mitchell's here. Sean's here. Mountain Bee. Gayla's here. Danny is here. SP Mama. Marilyn Landis. Wendy R. Kathy Lynch. Blaze. Who else is here? John is here. Hey, Jonna. Hey, Jonna. Thank you very much for your super thanks a couple of weeks ago. I appreciate it. Who else is here? Lynn D made it. Rachel's here. Good to see you guys. It's been a while. I think everyone's become a bit sort of disjointed with the whole time of the show lately. So I hope we'll be able to go back to earlier shows eventually. All right. So if you don't know this story, it is truly one of the most horrific stories of, it really is CA. CA is about the only thing I can tell you what it is, because there's nothing else. Now, oh, that's horrible. Hold on. That's horrible. All right, here we go. Okay. There we go. Hey guys, good to see you. Good to see you out there. So the story revolves around two teenagers and their group of friends. Two of them are dating. So it's a young girl and a young guy. Owen is the young man. And they start receiving these messages. And it's sort of like they're directed at the young girl. And they say, oh, Owen loves me more than you. You know, we're down DTF. We're DTF, and we're gonna be at a party tonight. And me and Owen are gonna F. Me and Owen are gonna hook up. And it's almost like they're trying to, I don't know, sort of terrorize this young girl. Terrorize her. That is the only word I can think of. So it's Lauren Licari and her boyfriend Owen, and they start receiving these cruel text messages. Cruel. Like, I'm talking about stuff that if this was happening to a child, a teenager, and it was reported to anything like a cop, the school, there would be like full-on investigations, and there were. But for a period of time, they thought it was a child at the school. They even checked the security cameras. So every time these two teenagers would get a message, the school was checking the security cameras to try and see, well, who has snuck out of class to use their phone, who might be, sending messages in between classes and things like that. But they couldn't figure it out. Anyway, they figure it out, and it is one of the most, I watched the whole documentary, and when they explained what was going on, I couldn't believe it. But so if you haven't seen the documentary and you don't want to know, or if you haven't guessed what the answer is already, this is your spoiler alert, even though it's in the thumbnail. It's the mom. It's the mother. Here's Lauren here in the photo. That's her dad right there. It's her mother. Her own mom is sending these text messages to her own daughter, these vile catfishing type messages telling her to go, the child should go unalive herself. She's an ugly hoe, all these different things. And I think the most shocking part of this is that the mum tried to defend it. She tried to defend her behavior, saying that it was no big deal and that this is nothing different from like a petty crime. A petty crime. You terrorized. This is not for a short period of time. 2 years. 2 years. This mom did this to her own daughter and her daughter's boyfriend. Absolute horrific. Here, I'll give you some examples of the messages they sent if I can find them. I think we had some examples. Oh. Maybe not in this one. Hold on, guys. I'll get them for you. There was, yeah, this one maybe? Yeah. So, here. They said many of the messages were extremely lewd, repeatedly telling Lauren that Owen is going to break up with her because she was not fulfilling him sexually. One text to Lauren read, "He wants sex, blowjobs, and making out. He don't want your sorry ass." While another referred to his, I'm just going to read it, his dick and fingers in my pussy and mouth. This is what this woman was sending to her own daughter. So you're telling your daughter to become more sexually active than she already is, if she is at all. I don't know if she was at the time. But you're sending these sexually explicit text messages to your own daughter. What mother out there would do this to their own daughter and be like, yeah, I want you to fuck some more. Go and fuck that guy. Like, who's doing this? It is the most depraved thing I think I've ever. I don't know how we missed this case in our covering millions of cases. Here's a photo of her here. Here's the mom there. She is one of the most trash human beings I think I've ever heard of. Awful. So she says here, she argues that her behavior stems from previous trauma that she hadn't processed and opens up about how she was R-worded at 17. And she says, as my daughter was hitting those teenage years, I got scared. I was afraid of letting her grow up and wanted to protect her and keep her safe. What are you talking about? Oh, sorry, guys. I don't know why that went like that. There you go. What are you talking about? What are you talking about keeping her safe? I don't think keeping her safe has anything to do with encouraging her to engage in sexual activity when she's not ready to, or I don't know if they had or not, no idea. But there's not normally. You're like, so I was R-worded at 17, so I want my own daughter to like get around. I want her to like F when she's not ready. I want her to unalive herself because that would be a way better option. She makes no sense, and in the documentary, she just comes across as smarmy, very evasive. So they interview her in this documentary called Unknown Number, and they actually talk to her about some of the things. It wasn't only that. So, do you think like all this catfishing is pretty bad? Doing this to her own daughter is pretty horrific. She was also messing around with her own husband. So she worked for a period of time, lost her job, told her husband that everything would be okay. She did all the finances in the family household. They found out that she hadn't been paying the bills, and they actually got evicted from their property because she had just spent years not paying any of the mortgage. So they had to put all their belongings into a storage unit. And then she proceeded to not pay the storage unit bill either and lost the storage unit, which had a lot of the family's possessions inside of it. So she wasn't just like messing around with her daughter, she was also messing around with her own family. I want to know how your R word at 17 seems to sort of manifest in, you know, derailing your whole family. Self sabotage of your family unit. Shouldn't your family unit be your safest place? For someone who went through if it's true, a very traumatic incident at 17, wouldn't your own family unit be like your rock, your safest place where you're not going to get hurt by anyone because you're going to be safe there? Why would you then go and undermine your entire family, including your teenage daughter who was just about to reach the age that you were when you had this so-called crime happen to you? Instead, you go on a 2-year hate campaign against your own daughter, telling her that she's ugly, that her boyfriend doesn't want her, and that, she should do all these sexually explicit things to keep him happy. It is bizarre. So, according to the former Beale City, so this is in Beale City, the superintendent, Bill Chilman, says in the documentary that Kendra had a cyber version of Munchausen syndrome, arguing she wanted her daughter to need her in such a way that she was willing to hurt her own daughter. And they say this is why they chose to do that. This is why she chose to do that versus physically trying to make her ill, which is a typical Munchausen behavior. They say here in the documentary, Kendra is asked whether text messages calling her daughter anorexic reflected her own insecurities and whether she was really just texting herself. And she said, possibly. She replied, because I was way too thin, I was not eating, so you could put me in that anorexic category. They say, um, even after doing the documentary, her ex-husband doesn't believe it's clear why Kendra started sending aggressive text messages to her own daughter, arguing, I don't know that we're ever going to fully understand. I think it's going to take a lot of work on Kendra's part to figure that out. Some real big self-reflection. One of the saddest things was at the end of this documentary, they interview the daughter. So the daughter's in this documentary. The mother is, the father is, and the boyfriend Owen is, and some of their friend group. At the end of the documentary, they ask the daughter, how do you feel towards your mother? And she says this. She says, I love her more than anything. Now that she's out, I just want her to get the help she needs so that when we see each other, it doesn't go back to the old ways and the way it was before. I think that's extremely sad. It sounds like a daughter who wishes for her mum to be to give her the type of love that she deserves, not what she got given. And it sounds like a young lady who still hopes that maybe one day her mother will be, I don't know, well enough to participate in that relationship. But that's very sad to me. I love her more than anything. That young girl shows more grace than her mother ever did. It is So they say here that you know, after her mom went to prison in 2023, she missed her mother a lot. According to this, they stayed in touch throughout the prison sentence. But when filmmakers interviewed Lauren again in 2024, she had changed her mind about wanting to stay close to her mother. They say she didn't hate her mother at all, but she was a little bit more measured in her communications with her, a little bit more measured about how much she was willing to let Kendra into her life. So the mother was jailed over this, which I think is deserved. I don't think you can really. What else could you do? I mean, you have to. It's awful. They're saying here on some days it was not just 1 or 2 text messages. It was 30 to 50 text messages per day to the daughter. I mean, that alone is distracting. If you have a child that's going through high school, you need them to be focused on doing their work, schoolwork, studying, participating in after school activities, that type of thing, having friends and stuff like that, not distracting them with 30 to 50 lurid text messages every day. It's awful. It really is. Let me see if I can pull up something on Kendra. Kendra Lucari. So I just want to see if we get a sentencing thing for you. I don't know if we'll be able to, but I hope so. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is from Up North Live, and this is when she was sentenced to prison.
Kendra Lucari, an Isabella County mother, has been sentenced to prison for sending hundreds of cruel text messages to her daughter and a boy she was seeing. In a packed courtroom, emotional testimony from both the victims and Licari herself. According to the prosecutor, for months in 2021, Licari sent hundreds of harassing text messages to her daughter and the boy she was seeing. When law enforcement officials got involved, they say Licari was working with the other teen's mom to find out who had been sending the messages. Prosecutors say she even went as far as framing another teen who went to the school with her daughter. Licari was remorseful as she spoke before sentencing.
I never want to hurt anyone else like I have already done. I actually look forward to continuing my work and continuing my progress daily. I have caused a lot of damage to my family.
Licari was sentenced 19 months to 5 years behind bars after pleading guilty to 2 counts of stalking a minor. The judge said she is allowed to have contact with her daughter, saying it's up to the family on how they want to go about moving forward.
I don't know what you guys think, but I don't think it's long enough. I would have liked to see that mum jailed for maybe like 5 years. I don't believe her sob story in court. How come you're sorry now, but you weren't sorry when you did it? In the documentary, you get to see body cam of when she is figured out. They figure out what's going on. They find out that the mum has a second cell phone, and they raid her property looking for that second cell phone. Not dissimilar from Erin Patterson, although Erin Patterson was able to get rid of her second cell phone. I just don't believe her. Like, if you were sorry, you could have stopped a long time ago. You could have realized that what you were doing was wrong. You could have not put your daughter through 2 years of psychological hell, all for your enjoyment. And I don't believe her about this is linked to a past trauma. I don't believe that's fully true. I believe that might have happened. I don't believe this has got anything to do with it. I just think she is a manipulator, someone who likes manipulating people and feeling like they have some control over people, like her own daughter. And I think her daughter was starting to grow up, starting to have her own ideas, starting to sort of move beyond the family household, move beyond what she had to say. And this was her way of controlling her daughter, which she does admit to in that sentence, but for a different reason. I don't think it's got anything to do with that essay when she was 17. I just think that she did not like that her daughter didn't listen to her anymore and was starting to sort of assert her own ideas. But it's the offending is horrible. You told your daughter to go unalive herself, that she wasn't good enough, that she wasn't pretty, that, all the girls are all, having sex and making out and, you know, committing sexual acts. I mean, it's why would you say any of these words to your daughter? They said here in one of the messages, in a deluge of messages, she said to her daughter, "Kill yourself now, bitch. His life would be better if you were dead. And dead, hashtag bang bang, hashtag S word. I mean, these are forceful messages to your own daughter. What if she did it? What if she actually took what you said and cracked? Luckily, your daughter's a very strong person, stronger than you are, and she survived and was able to get through this. But what if she had cracked under the pressure, under 50 text messages a day from someone berating her? Where would you be today? I would have hoped it would have been a life sentence in jail, but what kind of remorse would you had then? So when she stands up in court and tells the court how remorseful she is, I do not give her any sort of credit. I don't give her. She's just not someone you can ever think of as reliable in her words. You know, this is someone less than 2 years ago was sending text messages like that to her daughter. Um, yeah. She would say things like, "Hi, Lauren. Owen is breaking up with you," even though Owen was not. And then saying other things like they were both this anonymous caller and Owen were going to be at a party. And it said here, we're both DTF and that they will be there at the party and plan to make it happen. And then he will be with me while your lonely, ugly ass is alone. The other thing about these messages, they also addressed the young girl, Lauren, as Lo, Lo. So that's a nickname. But apparently that nickname was only known to her inner circle. So the fact that this person, was calling her by that name, they thought it had to have been someone close. But I don't think they could have ever thought it was going to be the mom. So yeah, that's what it means. Hold on. Sorry, I haven't been able to kick this cold. I'm still a little. It just must be the weather down here. Chipmunk said, "Imagine the fight she had with her friend." I think the whole friend group didn't understand what was going on. So while it focuses on Owen and Lauren, there was other people in that orbit in the friend group because they lived in a tiny town. This town is like they explained it in the documentary. It's like there's nothing to do there. There's like 3 stores on the main road. It's a country town basically. Where is it? It's Beale City, Michigan. Beale City. What do I know about Beale City? Not much. I've never been there, but it is in Isabella County, apparently. Let's have a look. Let's see if it is as they describe. Yeah, there's not a lot here, is there? There's a barber shop, a grill, an equipment place, and a mechanic, a gas station, and a church. Sounds like Middle America. That's about it. That's it. That's all there is. There's nothing else. What happens if you zoom out? Okay, that's all they have. Wow. That's not a very fun place for children, is it? Like teenagers. There's literally nothing out here. You get a gas station, and this is like the middle of town, apparently. What's this place? A restaurant, the Blue Bar and Restaurant. Yeah, like a farm equipment place, which is not, not abnormal. Of course, you're going to see places that sell tractors and things for farm work, especially in this part of the country. Looks like a beautiful town, but what they were saying is the parents and people that live here don't have a lot of anything better to do than to gossip. And apparently town gossip is sort of their favorite sport of the town. And when this was all going on, it was rapidly going through the small community and everyone was talking about it. I bet you they would have been talking about it when they realized that it was the girl's mother. Yeah, wow, this place really is tiny, isn't it? Looks like a beautiful place to live. Look at this. It's got like 10 houses. That's about it. Wow, look at this. This is like somewhere Ping would love to live. I love these type of towns. They're just so, I don't know. I just love the wide open spaces and not a lot else. Very quiet. Pretty place, pretty place. I love it. But unfortunately, it was a place of this crime, unfortunately. What does this say? What is this? Beale City. Is it like a football club or something? They play sport. What is it? Let's go this way. I don't know. Beale City Council? Is that where they have their council meetings or something? I can't actually read it. Yeah, let's go back a bit further. Yeah, Beale City Council. There you go. C of C breakfast buffet in August 11th, 8 a.m. to noon. There you go. Breakfast buffet at the council hall. So there you go. Bit of a look into what this town where this all happened was like. This town has like two streets, a main street and a crossroad, and that's about it. They don't even have a supermarket. I wonder where you would go. You would have to maybe go out of town. Can we go back? Yeah. Where would you go if you needed to get like shopping and stuff? Where's the closest like big town? Maybe like Mount Pleasant would be the or Clare. You'd head up to Clare, one or the other. Probably here, which would be the nearest big city, which would be Mount Pleasant. That's a long bit of a trip, hey? So yeah, there you go. Country town. Field of Dreams. Yeah, actually, maybe I have been out here. I've been to Iowa and I've been to Illinois. Maybe I have been out here and I don't realize it. I've been Sean, I have been to the Field of Dreams. I have been there. I've run around the diamond. I've done all that type of thing. It's literally a cornfield in, I think it's Iowa, and there's nothing out there. You drive down this highway and you pull into this place and they've got signs and it's like the Field of Dream and it's a movie and like that's it. Like at least when I was there many years ago, that's all that. I think nowadays it's a little bit better run, or if it's still there, it was better run. But in the 90s, it was just a cornfield and a baseball diamond, and they had a baseball and a bat, and you could play a bit of baseball out there if you wanted to. Yeah, they had a gift shop where you could buy things. I don't know if I still have it, but I had a some memorabilia from there. Don't know if I or like trinkets, tourist trinkets, but I don't know if I have them anymore. But yeah, Iowa, right? That's all that was there in the film. Yeah, there's not much there. Hey, the series is called Unknown Number: The High School Catfish. Yeah, out on Netflix right now. Out on Netflix right now. You guys can watch the entire thing if you want to. I would suggest it. I think it would be a good watch. Um, yeah, so brand new. That's all. How far away from it is it from this place? Hold on. Field of. Let's see. How far away is it? No. It's in Iowa. Yeah, it's in Dyersville. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. There's not a lot. I think it wasn't even this built up when I went there. When I went there, I don't remember there being. I remember the home, and I remember the parking lot being up here or somewhere around here, and the diamond. But when I was here, they had the baseball diamond, and there was like a shack that was right here. It seems to be bigger now. but there was just like a little shack that had like a window, and you could like buy trinkets and things. It was not this built up. The home might have been here, but you couldn't tour it or anything when I went there. You literally pulled in, talked to the people at the memorabilia thing, ran around the diamond for a little bit, and then left. Other than that, there wasn't too much to do. I don't even know how you get in here now. You have to go through Field of Dream Way. Let's go down there. There you go. You guys can see. Yeah, it's a lot more built up than when I was here. There you guys go. You guys can see what it looks like these days. I believe this was always here, and you had to pay a fee. But it's been renovated since I was last here. Yeah, all this concrete was not here when I was here. All this stuff was not here. It was basically that baseball diamond right here, and then a little like a mobile home selling trinkets out here. So it looks like it is definitely better run than when I was here. So that's good. Get more of an experience, because there was no experience when I did it. You drove like for 25 minutes out of can't remember what city we're in Iowa, and then you drive out here down the highway, and then you just spend 15 minutes here and leave. But it looks a bit better now. I'd love to play baseball with the greats. I heard they do a show here now. That some days if you come out here, they'll actually have people dressed up like it's from the movie and play baseball on the diamond and things like that. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, if you build it, they will come. Yeah. So I'm glad they put some money into it. Hey Robbie, are you out of hospital yet, my friend? Yeah, I hope you're doing well. Tell me if you're doing well or not. Yeah. Chipmunk said she wanted her daughter isolated, her friends to fight with her and rely on Mummy Dearest. It definitely sounds like that. It definitely sounds, wow. I don't know. Isn't there better ways of developing a non sort of damaging relationship with your daughter? There's got to be where you become your daughter's confidant and sort of one and only. And I'm sure there's a lot of teenage girls who have this relationship with their mom. I don't think this is the way to do it. This is a awful way. Robbie T said, I am not, but I am in rehab now. Okay. You get your staples out on Monday. I'm glad you're recovering, my friend. Keep recovering. Get out of the bloody hospital and get home. That is you. And when you get home, tell us more about your adventure, because it sounds like you've been through a hell of a journey. All right. All right. Let's go up here. I want to see if there was anything else from the court case that I can show you, because I would like to show you that. Yeah. I'm going to take you out to Good Morning America. Wait, can we do that? We may not be able to do that. Hold on. All right, no, we're going to go out to our friends at Ken's 5 in San Antonio.
A high school girl in Michigan was cyberbullied for more than a year, sometimes receiving up to 12 threatening messages a day.
And who turned out to be the suspect shocked everyone. Reporter Eric Lloyd has that story.
When the case first came into our office, it was very bizarre and almost hard to believe.
What was presented to Isabella County Prosecutor David Barbary was a police report saying this woman, Kendra Lucari, had catfished and harassed her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend for months.
We're talking about several hundreds of text messages, over 1,000 pages of discovery in the case.
Licari is charged with 5 crimes, mainly for stalking, as the messages went on for more than a year.
But by and large, it was mostly just harassing type text messages, demeaning, demoralizing, and kind of mean text.
According to the complaint, police say Licari used software to hide her location and used several different numbers and area codes to appear to be other Beale City students sending the messages. Then Licari herself helped her daughter report it to police.
If at any point this became something that they didn't want to engage in or continue, they could have stopped. But rather than stop, it continued to snowball into this sophisticated plan where they try to conceal their identity and throw the police off their tracks.
Barbary says they may never find the actual reason for all of this, but the impact left the two victims distressed and broken.
Someone else coined this term, it wasn't myself, but they called it a version of cyber Munchausen syndrome, in the sense that this seems to be that type of behavior where you're making somebody feel bad or need you in their life because of this behavior.
Licari is back in court for an official arraignment on December 20th.
I don't know. I don't know about the association, the association with Munchausen syndrome. I think sometimes, while there's causes and effects for certain offending, I worry that sometimes we try to make leaps that are too big, and I worry that Munchausen has a very specific offending sort of preset or profile that you have to look at, and while this has some parts of it, it doesn't have all of it. This would just be more abuse and harassment. I think we can just call it that, because that's what it is. It's a very depraved way of trying to get your daughter to be isolated and be with you, which is a really messed up mindset. And it's all it's going to do is drive your daughter away, which is basically, when she found out who it was, she did. So really, really awful. I went into this documentary with no idea about the case. I hadn't read about it. Didn't really know about it. And I got to the part where they revealed that it was the mom, and I was like, no. I was like shouting stuff at the screen. I'm like, it can't be. Well, it was. So yeah. Guys, hold on. Sorry, guys. I had to answer a email. You guys probably have this in your countries, but if you ever do like your shopping and you have to like go pick it up or whatever, so you do the order online and then you go pick it up. So we've had this problem with our supermarket where we'll order something and they'll tell us they don't have it, and we'll be like, okay. So we go to the supermarket to pick up the order, and the product that they told us they didn't have is sitting on the shelf. And we're like, what do you... I mean, we're talking about like 10 minutes between getting the email that they don't have it and then checking the shelf. And it's like, how did you miss this? Like, so we're like, okay, we're going to go to a different supermarket a little further away. So I put in the order, and what happened? They're like, oh, we don't have it. And I guarantee you, when I go to pick it up and I check the section where the item is, they're going to have it. Oh, this is so annoying. I need to sort this out and I need to email them, because it's ridiculous. Second time, different supermarket, same chain of supermarkets. But the problem is they always tell you like, oh, if you order it online, you get like 30% off, but you can't get it in store. So even though I can go to the store and now buy the item because it's sitting on the shelf, I don't get the discount for it, which is actually quite a lot of money, because I didn't order it online. So what I've been doing is I've been saving the receipts from buying it in person, and I'll email them and be like, hey, I want the difference returned to me because you guys are fucking shit. Gail said it's because a young person that can't be asked to look. Yeah, that's that's exactly what it is. Sean said, I just did my Woolworths shop online while I listened. Yeah, that's happened to us twice this week where we've ordered the same product and they've told us they don't have it. I guarantee you when I go pick it up, they have it. Yeah, but no discount. Yeah, so this one was on special for quite a bit. I think it was like normally like $18, so it's not the cheapest item, but it was like half price, so it was like $9 each. So if I buy two of them, they're like $18. But if I buy two of them full price, they're like $34. So it's a good saving. So yeah, there you go. False advertise. They put these young people that work in the supermarkets on a timer, and I blame the supermarket. I blame the person working there too, but I more blame the supermarket because they make them go so fast and they're like, pick an item, run around, pick an item, 10 seconds to grab the item. It's the supermarket pressurizing them and making them time their sort of picking of the items. So, yeah. I will be writing an email to Woolworths tonight. I think PetSmart did that to me once. So annoying. So now I have to drive an extra 10 minutes away to go to this other supermarket after we finish the show. And it's just fucking useless. Oh, supermarkets, man. They're just horrible. They just don't do their jobs. They advertise stuff that they never have. It's a problem in Australia. So if you live in Australia, you would know that most supermarkets, Coles or Woolworths, which are the two main ones down here, ever since the pandemic, nothing is ever in stock. Nothing. You go to the supermarket, like half the supermarket is empty, or they have one of things but not other brands, or they have, you know, one of something, not five of something, and you need five. It's been happening since the pandemic. It's just never gotten better. Half Irish, yeah, I know. Go in store with your order and the items they said they didn't have and get them to reduce it at the help desk. Since the one we did was the other day, I'll probably just write an email because you get a better response from, because it's an online order, you tend to get a better response from the online thing. Linjen said total deception. They don't count on you to go in and see if it's there. People are just, supermarkets, man. Supermarkets and couriers. Two things Ping hates in life, but I unfortunately have no choice but to use them. Yeah, so there you go. There's my adventure for the week. Fighting supermarkets about stock issues. All right. Let me go down here. I want to show you more about this what this mom did because I think it's important to talk about it. Now, the two this might rank up there with our catfishing cases. What was the other one we talked about? The other one was an Australian case from years ago. Her name was Rachel. Rachel catfishing case. So there was oh no, not Rachel. Renee. Renee. Renee or hold on, there's two. Sorry, Renee was a different one. That was the one in Melbourne. There's a movie about it called Within You, something like that. And this girl basically assumes the identity of her friend because she wants to be her because the friend is pretty and very popular, and she's not. And that they made a movie about it. But this is not it. This is Renee Marsden. So the two biggest ones that I think I've ever dealt with is Renee Marsden, and I think now this one. These two are probably been the example of why countries need stronger catfishing laws. Catfishing in Australia is not a crime. Catfishing someone pretending to be someone else is not really a crime down here. Like, there are some deception laws that you can get into trouble with, but there's nothing to say, hey, you're going to be arrested and thrown in jail because you were catfishing someone. The woman who basically ruined Renee's life just really never got in trouble, never did anything. They just basically said, while you could prove that she was pretending to be Braden, so what? There's nothing we can charge her with under the law. And she basically got off scot-free. She didn't really do any time. She got charged with a couple of offenses here and there, but it wasn't anything that would send a message to other people who catfish people. This woman here was sentenced, but I still think it was a very lenient sentence. I mean, a couple of years in prison for almost derailing your daughter's development and life. Again, what if she had bought into what the mom was saying and actually took her own life? I know we'd be talking about a very different story, but she was sentenced on 2 counts of stalking a minor, and she was sentenced to a maximum of 5 years in prison with a minimum sentence of 1 year 7 months. 1 year 7 months as the minimum on the verdict, on the sentencing. That is who is scot-free? He's the man that lives in all our heads. 1 year 7 months of jail time. Is that a deterrent for anyone? Is that really, like, if you really wanted to annoy, like, say this was not a mother-daughter sort of situation. Say this is like a friend and another friend, and this same thing happened, right? Is 1 year and 7 months in jail a real deterrent? Like, if you really wanted to do this and mess with someone or violate their privacy, send them up the wall, would you be scared of a sentence this small? I don't think so. I think you'd be like, well, if I do get caught for this, I'm probably only going to do about 1.5 years in jail, and I'm probably going to get out sooner than that. So I don't think anyone's scared of 1 year and 7 months on the minimum. I think it would have to be a lot stronger in sentencing recommendations than that. That is really, really soft. Yeah, just brutal. They said a little bit. Oh yeah. So according to Kendra, she says that she didn't send the first threatening messages, but rather jumped in later to try and root out the perpetrator. Really, really, no one believes you. No one believes you, Kendra. Yeah, that's really sad. The daughter says here, being without that relationship, I think, is really hurting me, and I think rebuilding our relationship will help both of us a lot. And they say here, yeah, she says, I love my mother more than anything. That's a very, very brave little girl. As part of the conditions of her supervised release, Kendra is not allowed to leave the state and must make earnest efforts to find and maintain employment. Yeah, okay. She is also not allowed to see her daughter per agreements from her plea deal. That is a good thing. At the time she was interviewed for the documentary, Kendra said it had been about 1.5 years since she had seen her daughter. Good. Good. Shouldn't be allowed anywhere near that little girl. In the documentary, Lauren, the daughter, says she wants to see her mum when the time is right. I think, Lauren, when you're an adult, when you're a little older, and you're able to compartmentalize all of this properly, and you get a good amount of therapy, and you know where you stand in all of this and how to stand up for yourself, and you know that type of thing, you'll then have all the tools you need to deal with her. But go off and enjoy your young years at college, and don't even worry about whatever she's doing. Do not worry. You don't need that woman in your life right now. She needs to learn that you're the ultimate thing, the daughter, right? The daughter's the ultimate thing, not her. And until she learns that lesson, you shouldn't allow her back into your life. These people often have a way of reoffending, and these sort of behavioral traits that the mother displayed are very hard to break. So I don't think a year or so in prison has done anything to break that behavior. The only thing that's doing it is because she was in jail, and if she does try to do it again, the authorities are monitoring her right now on parole. So, as soon as she's free from all this monitoring, if she was in touch with her daughter, I wouldn't be surprised if she took it out on the daughter again or found a different victim, because they don't just stop. Even right until she was arrested, she was still doing it. So she needs a lot more time, and she needs to understand that she is the problem and something within her is broken. So will she ever learn that? I got no idea. I don't know her, but I don't think she needs to be in her daughter's life. Not right now, anyway. Yeah, I like that. They say down here that the daughter Lauren is an adult now, and that she'll get to make the decision, and she gets to decide if she wants to have a relationship with her mum. She gets to decide what her future holds, and I think it's a really great place for her to be. I agree. I think that it's she holds the keys to everything in relation to ever wanting to be with her mum. So I think that's a great idea. Half Irish said that would seriously mess with my head if it was my mum. The daughter says in the documentary she still questions everything today, that she still looks back at some of the things her mum told her and questions, like, why would you tell your own daughter that? And she'll probably have that same thing for a long time, probably. I hope she's okay too. I hope she's off enjoying her older teenage and early 20s life. Joniel said, I don't want to comment at all because I don't want to upset anyone in chat. Why? Are you going to call the mum a victim? I'm guessing that would be the first comment from you, is that you'd be like, or you'd tell us that she's not guilty, and it must be the man on the moon who wrote all the messages. Which one is it? Let us know. We're now keen to know. Yeah. So if you haven't watched this, you should go and watch it. I think it's a really interesting insight into the different types of CA that can happen within a household. It doesn't always have to be physical. It can sometimes be psychological, and it can sometimes be almost a step removed from like person to person. It's almost like done under a cloak and dagger type situation, which is what happened here. So you should watch it. Everyone should watch the documentary. Chipmunk said people like her can make you question your own sanity. I'm guessing the daughter has several times. And Gail said, I think it's what Laurie would be like to Ty Lee. She does look like an even sadder version of Laurie Vallow. If you told me this was Laurie Vallow's sister, I'd believe you. I'd be like, oh, is it? She has a sister named Kendra? Okay. They don't look that different. Gail says, yeah, be nice. Yeah, Joe, be nice. Don't be abusive, Joe. All right, let's see. Yeah, the fact that like while Owen and Lauren were like the victims that we sort of highlighted, they go on to say here that when you live in such a small town and if you go to a high school, everyone knows each other, right? So it's not the largest town in the world. The people on the football team know the people on the cheerleading team, and the people that in that live down the road know this person's uncle and this person's auntie. So everyone's interconnected. So when you have an investigation that is as serious as this one, rumors and innuendo get around very quickly, even if they're wrong. So there's not just Lauren and Owen who are victims here. There's several other people who are also, by association, victimized as well within the friend circle, within other family members. So what she's done, what Kendra has done, has not only affected her daughter and her family, but also several other families as well. Lynn Jen said, will Kendra start writing her version of the Bible as well? I don't know. Did Jesus visit her in jail and tell her that they're best friends? You'd have to find that out first. You let me know if you hear about it. Then we can make that decision. Jonna said, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, it is. Yeah, some parents can be extremely cruel, extremely cruel. I think we've read enough parent cases in true crime to know that. All right. There's there's my little take on really one of the craziest stories I think I've ever read. But I want to give you an update on the search for Desi Freeman. So, do you guys remember Desi Freeman? He is the guy who shot two cops in northern Victoria and is on the run. It is day 4 or 5 now, and he is still not being captured. The manhunt continues. I'm just double checking that they didn't catch him in the last hour. Nope, they have not. Desi Freeman, the man who ambushed and shot at police, killed 2 of them. A third one was injured and put into hospital and had surgery. He's doing okay. But the manhunt is still ongoing. So they have not captured him. Here, I'm going to play the update for you.
Saturday morning in Pawnpukka, and there's been significant snowfall in the region, and locals say by rights this place should be pumping. There should be no car spots available as people grab their ski hire, grab a coffee before hitting the slopes, but it is so quiet. We've spoken to local business owners here at the ski hire place at the local cafe who say local police are telling visitors to stay away, and it certainly appears that they are. Now, they understand that these warnings are in place for a very serious reason. A manhunt is still underway for Desi Freeman, but these local businesses really are missing out on some potential big dollars. In terms of the weather, we've been quite lucky this morning. We've actually seen for the first time really this week a little bit of blue sky for a few hours, but those conditions are not expected to last. Just behind me is Mount Buffalo, and it's covered in snow. That doesn't always happen, but down here on the ground in Pawnpukka, you can feel those icy conditions coming through. There's severe weather warnings in place for parts of the northeast forecast district for damaging winds. Snow is forecast down to 800 metres, and it's really cold. We're going to be lucky to crack double digits with the temperatures today.
Yeah, it is quite a cold Saturday in Victoria down here. I think, yeah, it's only 12 degrees outside today. I'm sure it is way more colder up north than it is in the city. A lot of snowfall in the foothills and the mountains in Victoria too. So it is a very hard task searching for this guy. Running into in a couple of days, it'll be a week-long hunt for him, and no sign of him so far. No sightings really, no updates. Just he's been missing. They found his wife and children. They've been interviewed several times, but himself, Desi Freeman, don't know. He's like a ghost, like a ghost. No one has been able to find him. So let me show you what else has happened today in the hunt for him. Yeah, so I'll show you some of the region out there when I can. I just want to show you another update. Yeah, I'm going to take you to Channel 9.
We'll see you soon. Gunman Desi Freeman, who allegedly killed 2 officers in the regional Victorian town of Pawnpunka, remains at large as the manhunt now enters a 5th day.
For an update on the situation, criminologist Dr. Vincent Hurley joins us now in studio. Vincent, thanks for your time this morning.
Pleasure, Alison.
Is this only a matter of time, or does this man have potentially the capability to evade police for weeks, for months?
Yeah, look, he has the potential, absolutely, because it's his backyard. The thing that's going against him will be the weather and whether he's got anything out there like ammunition stashed away or food or extra clothing. So that would be the only thing really hindering him, because, you know, the weather conditions will wear him down physically as well as psychologically, because he'll be out there having no rest. He'll be always on edge, thinking that the police are watching him and will find him. So very much the police got the advantage at this point in time.
Vincent, really interesting to note that Freeman's wife and 15-year-old boy arrested by police, right? That was Thursday night. They've since been released. Would they be trying to get inside the mind of Desi?
Yes, they would be. Also, they would be trying to gather intelligence or information from those two about, say, for example, the firearm capacity that he might have, his state of mind, what actually triggered this event. So they will be trying to work out all those logistical things behind the scenes, and that information will be passed on to the negotiators to get an understanding, because he's such a, well, being a sovereign citizen, he's at the right-wing extremist. So, you know, that group of individuals are very much anti-police, as you would well know. So they'll be...
I find that interesting. Anti-police. Are you sure? After shooting 2 cops dead in Victoria's worst shooting in many decades, are you sure about that? Anti-police. I'm glad you could tell us that groundbreaking information on 9 News this morning. No more ties. I don't think they wear ties. It's a weekend show, so it's probably more relaxed. I don't know. Monday to Friday, do they wear ties? They might. I don't know. I don't watch traditional media that much. I tend to watch, I get my news from other places. All right. Let me see what's going on. Okay. So yeah, hunt is on still for him, and really nothing. There's just no updates. No one has cited him. There's been some rumors in the community, but this came out. There has been a bit of evidence, more evidence after killing 2 cops, of his hatred for authority. He said to someone in a text exchange that he wanted to torture a cop and torture them for days. That is pretty shocking to say about anyone, yet alone a police officer, that you want to capture them and torture them for many days. Here, the direct quote is this. He said, torture a cop for days and video it. So he wanted to capture a police officer. He said, like if I torture a cop for days and video it in 4K until justice is satisfied. You're talking about someone who's really crackers, you know, to be able to do that and then talk about how, you know, you want to video it in 4K. I mean, yeah. You already killed 2 cops. Now you're saying you want to torture them. Rachel said, do you think someone helped him leave the area? I think someone might be harboring him. Yeah. I think definitely that someone who, they've already raided a few properties in the area. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a sort of go plan. Should this ever happen, he had some plan of where to go, who to contact, ways of doing things that are not on the radar. You know, this is someone who's probably very advanced in knowing about anti-tracking, what they can and can't do, so they can't be followed or tracked when they're on the run. So I wonder if he's with other like-minded people. It wouldn't surprise me. They described that area where he lived as a hippie commune type place with many people coming and going from the property. So he probably has a lot of people he can talk to or get in touch with. So I wouldn't be surprised if, I mean, you have to think about it. His home was approached by the officers. 10 officers came to serve him with that search warrant and check for guns. When they approached the bus that he lived on, he opened fire in an ambush shooting. Then, after that, he stole weapons from the dead police officers and ran off into the bushland. It's not like he could grab heaps of gear and then go. There was other officers who were on the property. He didn't have a lot of time. He may have had things stashed in the bushland. Should this ever happen, I wouldn't be surprised. Pre-planning is one of these people's biggest, activities. But it's not like he could grab a lot of things from the actual bus. So if someone is harboring him after 5 days, I wouldn't be surprised. No, he didn't. They appeared at a police station later on. So we'll find out more about how that happened later on. Yeah, people are saying that maybe he built a bunker or something in the bushland waiting for this day. Could be. I mean, look at the extensive planning around his property with all the cameras and motion sensors and sensor alarms that he put in. If he did that, he's most likely, got other things away from the property too. There was some sightings apparently too. I'm going to take you to another video.
Pubs open again, but poor punker locals are still on alert.
It's been stressful.
Just on the back of your mind all the time.
Coming to terms with the death of 2 police officers and an accused gunman on the run. The 42-year-old wife and 15-year-old son of the alleged shooter were last night arrested in a police raid on a Paulpunka home, but later released. Police have thrown every effort into the search for so-called sovereign citizen Desi Freeman. 450 officers and growing, with the support of the AFP.
We are not leaving here until this person is in custody.
And search teams are facing tough conditions.
This cold air mass that's going to be moving through this evening and overnight is actually going to bring snow levels down to around 600 to 700 metres, and this could produce blizzard conditions in alpine areas.
The police chief issuing this warning.
Whoever is considering aiding him in this escape or avoiding our apprehension, committing a criminal offence.
Again, urging anyone with information to share it with police.
There have been alleged sightings which we're exploring. We can't confirm that they are of him, but if you think you see him, let us know.
Tributes were laid at Wangaratta Police Station to honour the 2 officers killed in the line of duty. The search, now in its 4th day, is well and truly taking its toll.
Some of the restaurants have got no bookings tonight. People are making those decisions not to travel, and that then obviously has a huge impact on their income.
While Paulpunka businesses are starting to reopen, the hunt for the alleged gunman will continue into the weekend. Victoria Police reassuring the public that planned protests across the state will not impact resourcing.
Yeah, along with the crazy weather this weekend, there was also protests planned for Melbourne and Sydney, drawing police assets away from doing other duties, unfortunately. It was a dispute with his neighbor over, I can't remember what it was, a property dispute, I think. So he was on a current affair about noise complaints. And what's interesting? During that allegation between his neighbor and him, he called on the police to help him during that disagreement with his neighbor. So it's okay to use the police when it works for you, but you're against the police in every other situation and think they're scum. It just shows you a little bit about his mindset that it's only okay when it works in his favor. So it shows you a little bit about him. Lin Jen said, just what the world needs, sovereign citizens who think the law do not apply to them. That's okay, Lin Jen. Just put up a weird sign with laws from 1902. You'll be safe. You'll be safe. No one will ever arrest you. Yeah. So there we go. A cop killer still on the run in Victoria. No updates, just nothing. I would have thought by now they would have had a sighting. They would have had a scent on where he got to. But so far, there's been no update at all. Yeah, just having a look at something. Interesting. Apparently in Victoria, they're saying that this is a different story. I just wanted to show it to you because people are always interested in gangs and biker gangs in Australia. They're saying Hell's Angels bikie gang removes signage from Melbourne clubhouses ahead of insignia ban. So they're banning any sort of like gang insignia being in public. And you can see that they've started to take down some of their sort of signage. This is so you can see where it used to be on the property. Here, I'll show you. This is what it used to look like, and now it's not there. So they're bringing in this ban to try and stop that this type of open sort of defiance in their signage, and now they're having to remove it from all of their properties. So there you go. That's what one of them looks like now. They've removed it, and there was one over here. It looks like they've removed a bit of the fence and put a new fence in, and they've covered up the sign that's on the window there. They've put a tarp over it. So there you go. Sean said definitely John Rambo. Yeah. Lynn Jen said we have some pretty tragic incidents with them here. Well, most of them up until now have just been people sitting in their car and having their windows smashed in. Hey, Marco. I think if he was able to accommodate his wife and kids, I think he probably left that house in the vehicle and his, yeah, well, that would have been true. But yeah, running into the bushland, I just wonder if he's got help, if he knew where to go, should this day ever eventuate. Did he have a plan to get to someone's property and then get snuck out of the area? I mean, I know they had road closures in some places, but maybe they were quick and were able to somehow get out of the area before they shut down that town, because it took them sort of an hour or two to sort of get everything set up and start blocking roads. Maybe they were able to get him outside of the town's limits, or maybe he's still in the bushland. Who knows? But at this point, no updates on where Desi Freeman is. They're saying here that their gut feeling is that he won't come out of his own free will because he's already allegedly murdered 2 people, so he has nothing to lose. That is probably true. His mindset would have to be me against the world, I would say. Yeah, 56-year-old man, Desmond Philby is his original name. Now Desi Freeman is still on the run today. Still on the run. They got everything. So that police helicopter that you saw is one of their I think one of their most highly technical ones that the cops have. That's Pole 32. Hold on. If I can get back to it and show you Pole 32. That's Pole 31. Here. So this big gray helicopter that I'm going to show you in a second is here. There he is. This is Pole 32. I'm pretty sure anyway. This is their big sort of military looking helicopter. That's not military though. It's actually Victoria Police. And they have 2 of them, 2 or 3 of them. One of them has this gray liveage that looks like this, and the other 2 are blue and white, and they look like police helicopters. So, hey, good night, Danny. Good to see you. prepper. That's what I was thinking. Sean said probably dug underground. That's what they think. He may have a bunker. Gayla, as far as I know from discussions with Marco earlier this week, I don't know the full reasons behind it, but they are not going ahead with it anymore. I don't have any of the details of why. Just that I had a talk with Marco earlier this week that for whatever reasons, I'm not fully aware of what it is. They are just not going ahead with it anymore. So I don't know why. You'd have to ask Marco, but maybe it's just too short of a time frame or something because it's already September and they wanted to do it in October or something. So maybe just too short. Gayla said, okay, that's sad. Yeah. Maybe we'll still head out there. Maybe we'll head out there this spring anyway. I did want to show some people. We didn't get to do a lot of filming when we're in Morwell, and I did want to show some people what it looks like out there. Not necessarily go to any of the places associated with Aaron Patterson, but just head out to some of these like Morwell and show you actually what it looks like. Because I showed you the drive-in and I showed you some of the courthouse, but I didn't show you what it looks like surrounding the area. It's really pretty. It's really nice place, like very picturesque. Some of the best views I've ever seen. Betsy said, hello, better late than never. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, so for anyone watching, I hope you got that message loud and clear about the tour. Chipmunk said, I'd love to see pretty pictures from Australia. Marco says, main community backlash and threats. Well, I'm sad to hear that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why they would do that, but I guess some people don't want to be associated with it. Joe Neal said, I have RMP fever. I don't know if that's something you should have. I think you may have to see a doctor for that. You can ride her. I don't know if you can ride her as of yet. I think you can. I don't know, but I thought you could only get mail once you've actually been sentenced, but I could be wrong. Maybe you can ride her already. Maybe I don't know her address. I have no idea what her inmate number is. You would have to find that out for yourself. So figure that out for yourself if you want to talk to Erin. All right, let's go here. Yeah. Marco said we could go in a couple of cars and just chip in for fuel. Yeah, maybe. I said when I was at the trial that I would go back because we were so busy during the trial that I never got to really look at any of the other areas surrounding it. We basically went out to trial, came back, went out to the trial, came back. As soon as it was Friday, we're like, we're going home. We're getting back to Melbourne. So I never really had a chance to look at any of the other places surrounding Morwell or anything. So I didn't get a big chance to do any of that. I mean, we drove out there and back many times and got to see it, but I didn't get to make any videos about it or anything. Sean said spring is a good time for it. Yeah, it would be better than winter with all the freaking fog that was out there. I still contend that I have never seen fog as thick as it was in Morwell. I've seen fog my entire life, but not like this. It was, you could stand in the car park for the hotel we're in, and someone could be at your, like, just in front of you, and you would not be able to see them at all. It was some of the thickest fog I've ever seen. Gail said, can you pick me up on the way? Yes, we will detour to Scotland. Joe Neal said, Sean will know the cops aren't in the bush with handguns. Oh, no. They've got all the weapons, all of them. Travis Decker needs to be found one way or the other. He needs to stop running if he is alive. I asked this question last week if anyone thought he was alive, and I think most people said they thought he was dead. If you think differently, let me know. Betsy, yeah. So there you go. All right, I don't think I have too much more for today. It was more just to come back on. We've been seeing how the graphics card has been going. The reason I wasn't on yesterday and the day before was our graphics card shut down, and it wouldn't we'd boot everything up, it would last like 5 minutes and then it would shut down again. And I was like, I can't do a show if it's going to do that because I can't reboot multiple times throughout the show. It seems to be working okay today. So hopefully that continues. Fingers crossed. We don't need to buy a new graphics card right now. That would be a pain in the butt. Chipmunk said they found bones yesterday. It might be him. Did they? No, still not thicker than Aaron's lies. No. All right, here we go. Hold on. Travis. Let me see. They did. Bones found near Washington campground amid search for man. Okay. So let me see if I can find an update for you that we can both watch. Let's go to King 5 in, let's go to Como. Is it Como News? I think that one's okay. Let's go to Como News.
A big update in the search for Travis Decker, the man wanted in the deaths of his 3 young daughters. Authorities say they found bones, among other items, but officials caution they're not sure if the bones are human or animal. Como's Lynn-Ann Nguyen is live with the newest developments for us. Lynn-Ann?
Yeah, Mary, those items found during the search this week have been sent off for testing, but I'm told it could be weeks before we learn answers into what exactly those bones are.
New developments as authorities search hundreds of acres for any sign of Travis Decker. The FBI now joining the search, helping local authorities and their partners look across 247 acres of ground over 2 days. Officials confirm they've found the bones within walking distance of the initial crime scene where the bodies of Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia Decker were found in June. The bones will now be sent off to Central Washington University's anthropology department to determine if they're human or animal. The Chelan County Sheriff tells us by phone, other items found in the latest search will be sent for DNA testing to determine if they're related to the Decker investigation.
We found some zip ties and plastic bags, not similar to the ones we initially found at the crime scene. We also found like a woman's earring and just items similar in that nature. But again, you can't confirm or deny that they're associated with it. So we're just making sure that we're being cautious and careful and testing it.
And the sheriff tells me it could take over a month to test those bones and other items. Meanwhile, local and federal authorities are looking into possibly doing other similar searches, possibly next month. Mary?
Lynn-Ann, have authorities said any more about where they found the bones?
They're not releasing many details about the bones, how many were found, what they looked like, or if they were even found with anything like clothing or anything like that. Keeping some of those details close to the chest to protect the integrity of the investigation right now. We'll send it back to you.
Lynn-Ann, thank you. Stay.
So we'll have to see. Like I said, may take some time for them to figure out who these bones are and if they have anything to do with the Travis Decker investigation. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I think there's always speculation of anyone who goes on the run that they may have had help, especially if it's a prolonged period of time. John has said, how is Mrs. Ping doing? Like, okay. I think learning to live with the surgeries and that is just a daily challenge. I think the hardest bit is trying to juggle all the bloody medication that she needs. Like, I think the medication. Hey, how many types of meds do you think you have to be on for the recovery? It's like pages and pages. She has to take it 3 times a day, and there's like about 10. So she's on about 10 different medicines, and maybe 12. And I think when we went to the fight, so we have to do it monthly. Some of them we have to do fortnightly. And I think that's the hardest bit is juggling all the different types, and some of them are in a shortage. So trying to find them is really hard because some of them they either don't make or there's some sort of shortage going on and that she needs them and we have to drive around looking for them. It's been a real pain. I think that and the cost of it. I think, in hospital so when she was in hospital, they provided obviously a lot of it for free under the Australian medical stuff. And then outside of it, we basically they're like, here's some scripts for everything. Go and fill it yourself. And when they say that Australia's medical system is better, it is. In America, I'm guessing the amount of medication she's on per month would be like $5,000. In Australia, it's close to $300 a month just in medication. So it's I think that's been the hardest thing right now is finding them all, tracking them down. You can't just go to one pharmacy, and then the bloody cost of it all. So and that's just for that thing. There's 20 other things that we're having to deal with too. So, but look, she's alive at least. She's alive and not in a hospital. So, Chipmunk said, "Yeah, medicine is too expensive here. In America, probably like $5,000 of medication easily. Like some of them are like, what's the most expensive one? Do you think the painkillers? What? How much is it for the wafers? Wasn't there one that was like 80? Is that the one you have to buy heaps of boxes for? So like some of them she has to take like 3 times a day, and like a few of them are 3 times a day, and we were 8 times a day. So some of them were running into sometimes we're running into issues where we'd go to get the script done, but then they were telling us that under the system she can't have that many, and we're like, but the doctor told her she needs to take this many. And they're like, well, per month, we can only give you a third of that. And we're like, wait, no, because like we're at a loss. We're like, wait, but the doctor's given her the script for it. Why can't we have that many? And they're like, oh, it's because of the system. The system won't let you have it. And we're like, I mean, what do you want us to do about it? Like we're not like I can't write the script and I can't tell her how many she needs to have. And so I don't know, it took a few weeks, but they found a way around the thing because at one point she was having to go to the doctor every week to get a script that normally they're saying it should have been like for a month, but they were getting around it by just issuing a new script every week. But they found another way of doing it where they could do it for a month. So thank God, because I don't know if people know this about Australia, but GPs are not free here. So I don't know, it's like America. Like when you go into a GP, you have to co-pay it. So we pay up front and then we get like a tiny bit back from Medicare, sort of like an insurance thing. So we don't want to go every week because it's so expensive. I think, how much is it for like a 15-minute appointment? Like 140 or something? No, double's like 180. Yeah, I think it's like $140. So $140 every time you have to go just to get a script. Just if you need a script. So that's why we were telling them, like, you have to figure out a better way, because we can't add $500 a month to the budget plus all the medication just to come in and get the script for the freaking medication. So we were like, you can't do that because you're going to basically bankrupt us. Yeah, so they figured out a way to do it, but it took them like 3 weeks to figure it out. So that's just one medication. They figured that out. Then she put it in this week and they went to go get a different medication. Now they're telling us that they can't they can't order her painkillers because they're redesigning the packet for the painkillers or something. So it's out of stock Australia wide. So that's a problem because now we have to go back to the GP and ask for a different solution because they don't have it. We've rung around everywhere and we've rung every pharmacy we can find, and they're all saying the same thing, that they don't know when it'll be back in stock and it's just not available to order. So they're just like putting up their hands going, we don't know. All we can do is try and order it. And if we can't order it, then we can't give it to people. So we now have to figure out a different pain management thing for her because they don't have it. It's just not available. So this is like the trials and tribulations of when I'm not here, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out all these different problems. And so while, yes, she's doing okay, sometimes the problems when you get out of hospital are not worse, just more complicated. So Lynn Jen said, for me, to have a certain med, they wanted me to make it $2,000 per treatment for the med. That didn't count having to administer it and watch for some time after. Yeah, I know. They want to watch you for 15 minutes after. Gail said, can you call them and ask them to change it so you don't need an appointment? They will sometimes do it over the phone, or they will bulk bill it sometimes, but it's not like they do it every time, and it's only at their discretion. It's only when they feel like I don't know. Why does she sometimes bulk bill you and sometimes charge you? Yeah, like sometimes if we've been a lot in 1 month, she's like, oh, I made my money for the month, and she won't put it through the charging thing. She'll put it through Medicare bulk bill, but until she sort of made her quota for the month, she charges us. So Chipmunk said it doesn't sound much different than here. Lots of red tape. Yeah, like there was one medication that she's on for her stomach, and they were like, we have to ring up and get authority for it. And I'm like, why do you have to ring up and get authority? I can walk into a chemist right now and buy as many as I want. And they're like, you need authority to get that many in one go. And I'm like, but I can just walk into a chemist and buy that many in one go if I want to. It's not a restricted med. It's not on a like prescription. You can just walk in and get it. And they're like, well, that's just the way the system is. And we're like, okay, it doesn't make sense when you can buy it over the counter. They just make things difficult for no reason. The script is so that we can get it in bulk. That's why I can buy it over the counter, but it's like $15 a packet, and she needs 10 of them. So it'd be $150 just for that one med. But if you get it through the script, it can go under the safety net thing, and it's only like $50, $60. So it's only like a third of the cost. But that's the difference. They were like, well, we can only give you this many. And we're like, no, we need way more than that. Anyway, they figured out a way around it. Thank God. But yeah, these are the type of things that when I say she's okay, she is okay, but it's all the sort of ups and downs of this is probably the hardest thing right now. Is just the bullshit with the doctors and then the pharmacies and then the medical companies. It's just like, how can you take a medication from the system but then not offer an alternative? You're just like, yeah, we're not going to bring that in anymore, and we're not going to sell it, even though we have thousands of people who rely on it Australia wide. And that this is a medication that you're not supposed to stop taking either. Has a big sticker on it that says, don't stop taking it. So what are you supposed to do when they're just like, we're not going to supply it anymore? It's just crazy. Gail said he's decided to use my arm. Oh, your cat, Hades? Sean said our medical system is partly why migrants want to come here. Well, I don't know. If you go to the rallies this weekend in Melbourne and Sydney, you might be able to find some like-minded people. Apparently, there's 2 big rallies in Melbourne and Sydney this weekend for I think it's anti-immigration or something going on. It's supposed to be like 100 100,000 people between Melbourne and Sydney or something. I don't know if they'll get that many, but it's supposed to be. So yeah, there you go. There's your update. She's fine, fine being with an asterisk at the end. It's just exhausting. I think, yeah, but it's not that bad. She's somewhat stable, somewhat. We're each day is a little bit different. Some days are better than others. She might have 3 days where it's really bad, and then have 5 days where it's really good. It just depends. So it's okay. Yeah. So there you go. There's why some days I'm not here. We had a graphics card issue. It was just shutting down. It was overheating, and I had to figure out why. And then the other issues was basically trying to sort all this out, trying to figure out what to do. So Kayla says, as I say when asked how I am, I'm alive. I mean, hey, look, it's better than sitting in a hospital and almost dying, so I'll take it. Jonna said, send our best wishes. Yeah, she's improving. I mean, at least she can eat now. I mean, a year ago, she couldn't eat. Like, literally couldn't eat food. Couldn't eat anything. So now that at least she can do that, that is an improvement, but she's sort of been to hell and back to get to that point. So, almost died one time before hospital, almost died in hospital after the surgery failed, and then had to have a second surgery. So it just, I think we're both tired of it. I mean, I think we just want to have a good period of time, sort of thing, where there's no problems. That would be nice. Diane Marie says, it's great you are so supportive. You ask her if I'm so supportive or not. Joe Neal said, we have a black cat named Jenny. Little kids down the street named her when she was a stray. That's very cute. See, that's a good story, Joe. You're not calling anyone a racist unless you call the cat some sort of word that begins with N. It's a good story. Carlisa said, hope you both can enjoy some yummy, relaxing meals soon. Actually, I tried something really good last night. They sell these like Korean food things down here. Like, I know they have them in England, in the UK, and I saw them at the supermarket, so I ordered them. They were like the best thing I've ever eaten in ages. I was hoping Mrs. Pink would eat them, but unfortunately they got pepper in it, and she can't eat pepper. But they were really, really good. Here, I'll show them. What are they called? I don't know if you guys have this brand down here. Do you guys have this brand called Bibgio? Bibgio? It's like a green colored brand. You would know it if I show you the branding. So they have these things, and I ordered some the other day for dinner. Do you guys have this brand where you are? I don't know how to pronounce it, but this stuff, Korean style fried chicken with soy and honey sauce. I don't think I've ever tasted something so good that's been frozen. This literally is one of the most stupid, good tasting things that is frozen. Like, most frozen chicken tastes like crap. Tastes terrible. Like, has that what do they call it? Like manufactured chicken or whatever. This thing is like, tastes like fresh chicken. Like, it has really good quality meat in it, and it's not that compressed mechanical chicken or whatever. If you like Korean food, you should buy this. It tastes really good. When are we going to the Hello Kitty Cafe? I think we might go when we go to sentencing on the 8th of September, we might go because sentencing is in the morning, and we don't expect it to be very long. Most sentencing days are sort of half an hour, an hour. They sort of get everyone in there. They read through the sentencing, gavel bangs, and everyone leaves, and Aaron goes to jail. So I'm not expecting that day to be super long. And the courthouse is not far from the Hello Kitty Cafe. So she might get to go to the Hello Kitty Cafe after we go to Aaron Patterson in a couple of weeks. Are you going? Do you want to go to Hello Kitty Cafe? She says yes. Of course she does. This is a girl who's literally wearing Hello Kitty pajamas right now. Everything she owns is Hello Kitty. So she may get to go. Hey, Spinster. Spinster. I like that. I like that. It's play on words. Play on words. I like it. Mac and cheese. I like mac and cheese, but it's got to be good. I don't like bad. Who likes bad mac and cheese? No one. But sometimes they use that really awful cheese in it. It's not nice. Kalizo said, we have frozen chicken brand called Naked. You can get it at Sam's Club, like a Costco. Super yummy, no chemicals. It's called Naked Chicken. Let me see. Naked. Wait, if I type that into Google, what am I going to see? Hold on. We'll find out. All right. No, see, I knew that was going to be the wrong thing to look up. That is not what I was trying to find. No. No, no, no. It's like chicken corn hub. Here we go. What is it called? Naked chicken? It's from Joyce Farms in the US. Okay. Is this the one you're talking about? Naked chicken? Boneless, skinless. Okay, so they do like different types of chicken. You know, I'll tell you a bit of a story. So we like to go to the butcher because it's nicer quality meat compared to the supermarket. We went to the butcher the other day to get some meat for dinners and things like that. Get this. We bought chicken tenderloins because that's what Mrs. Ping likes. We got them home. She went to bag them up to freeze them because they like buy a big lot so you can freeze it and it makes dinners cheaper. It was off. It stunk like chicken farts. And we were like, really? From our butcher? Like we've been going to our family goes to that butcher for years. And couldn't believe it. Like we've never had bad food from that butcher ever. And that was a real shame. Real shame. I'm trying to find the one that you're talking about. There seems to be a lot of brands, sort of this naked chicken. So I'm trying to find it. There's a lot of them. I think it's a description rather than a brand. Like there's this one here too. Frozen. Oh, this is Australian. Is it Australian? No, it's Hong Kong. Product of Australia in Hong Kong. Okay. I don't know where these people are. I don't know. I can't find the one that you want. Here, let's USA. Can't find the one that you're talking about. But that's all right. Betsy said, take the chicken back. We were going to, but we had medical appointments in between, and then it ended up being like 2 days before we could get back. And we're like, there's no way he's going to take it back after like 2-3 days because he could be like, well, you stored it incorrectly and blah, blah, blah. So unfortunately, we had to eat the cost on it. But normally we would, if we had time, we would just take it back. Oh, Just Bear. I saw that one. I see that one. Yeah. I see it. Got to get your branding right, people. Here we go. There you go. I saw that one. Okay, this one. Just Bear boneless, skinless, lightly breaded chicken breast chunks. Okay. Someone in the chat said that one's really good in America. You let me know if you like this brand too. If Kaliza is right. If this is a good brand of chicken. Gayla said our naked ham and bacon is really good, not as much salt. Okay. Kaliza said I'd send it to you, but it might not smell too good by the time we... Do not post any chicken products to me. We're about to give out the PO box soon. Do not post me any meat products. Do not. Do not. Chipmunk said, that's like me when I wrote my essay on the last dinner instead of the last supper. I got the meal wrong. I well, what kind of score did you get for that at university or high school or whatever? They'd probably be like, "Who is this person? What are they talking about?" I don't think we can let them go to classes here. They might bring down our average. All right. I think we're gonna finish up. What do we have coming up? Well, we have next weekend. Cold Justice is back. Cold Justice is back for season 8. Season 8. So I will be doing a live show Saturday night, which is tomorrow, but I think it's next week. So I actually got in touch with one of the people who make Cold Justice, and they were able to clue me in on a couple of the early cases that they're doing on the show. So they gave me a little bit of information so I could prep for each week for the first few weeks. So that was very kind of them. So I will have all that information ready for you for opening night of Cold Justice next week. So that'll be a really good episode. Some of the cases are, some of them have been in their communities for 30, 40 years and never been solved. Some of them seem so obvious. You know how we talked about Emmanuel Haro? Some of them are that obvious, and you go, it is this person, and they think it is too, but they've never been able to prove it until now. So these are going to be some great episodes this season on Cold Justice. I hope you will be able to tune in next Saturday night. That is one thing we've got coming up. We've got Aaron Patterson's sentencing coming up on the 8th of September. And then this week, I don't think we have a ton. We might have some Lachlan Young things coming up. And I think in a week or two, we have some more trial information. There's a 2-day sitting in the Supreme Court for Isla Bell. So we'll be going to that as well. That's coming up in like about a week. So this week, the first week of September, is actually a really quiet week, but I'll be on as much as I can be, and we'll talk true crime from around the world. But the week after is quite busy. We have a bunch of different court days and updates and stuff like that. Chipmunk says, thank you. Good. Yeah. Have a good sleep to all of you. I don't think they're going to. I already asked them for you. They said no. Gail said, next week, are you on Web Sleuths on Thursday? Who told you this information? I was only told about it a couple of hours ago. At this point, it looks like I will be on Web Sleuths on Thursday night. And we'll go from there. I don't know anything else other than that. I know I was asked to come and fill in for at least one night next week. So, yes, I will be on Web Sleuths next week. Let's see. Yeah, they're not going to let you back on. Trisha and Stacy the other day, I don't know. You would have to, I don't know what you're laughing about. I watch when I can, but I can't always watch the show with them, unfortunately. Hey, I want to thank Sean. Sean, thank you for the donation. By the way, I wasn't going through all that medical stuff to ask for donations. I will cover it somehow, some way. I just wanted to explain to people. I often get people say to me, aren't you happy that you're under the Australian medical system? Yes, in some ways, and no in others. So I wanted to explain to Americans, it's not as free as you think it is. I think there's a weird sort of perception in America that everything's free, but it's not. Like her hospital visit and her surgery was free, yes, but the cost is sort of after the surgery or before the surgery. And yeah, so while it's not thousands of dollars, it's not $50,000 or $70,000. It's still a lot of money. So I wanted to explain that because I don't know. Some people advertise to Americans that universal healthcare is some sort of magic wand that allows everyone to have healthcare for free, but it's not. The everything is free is only for people that are of the lowest socioeconomic situations in Australia. So if you're unemployed, if you have a disability, or you're an older person in retirement or an older age, it is free for you. But for people that are working or not on unemployment or something like that, it's the way I described it to you. So not for, and you get taxed the hell out of it for it too. At tax time, if you don't have private health insurance, you get slugged like I think it's $1,000 or $1,500 for not having private health insurance. So along with the costs I explained to you, and then the stuff at the tax time, you end up paying about the same amount for private health insurance. So there you go. Sean said that's why smokes are $60 a pack to fund their healthcare. Could be. Joe Neal said, I don't watch web sleuths much now because the guests are usually boring, or web sleuths makes them boring. They have a lot of guests on, yeah. John has said, we have that idea, it's free in the States. Yeah, it's not. And I hope that I've opened your eyes to how it actually works. While there are a lot of things that we get help with, like medication is cheaper, but it's not free. The doctor's visits are probably cheaper than America, but they're not free. Yeah, there you go. So not complaining that we do have it better off than other people. We do. It's still just not what people think it is. So Chipmunk said, I've never been bored on web sleuths. Well, I've never been bored on web sleuths either. Maybe it's just Joe and the band. Maybe the band is influencing his entertainment value. It could be. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I love you all. Thanks for caring so much about Mrs. Ping. It's been a long journey to get her out of hospital, and I appreciate everyone's support. It's been very, very kind of everyone. I'm sort of enjoying the sort of downtime at the moment. I know it's sort of like I'm not on every day at the moment, but I'm sort of enjoying it because soon we're about to go into overdrive again, and we're going to get onto a new trial, and it's going to be back to being like 15-hour days and, crazy hours. So I'm just sort of enjoying the sort of slow time at the moment. But it'll pick back up. Next year, we have 3 trials that we're going to in 2025. 3. And each one is supposed to be as long as Erin's trial. So we have 3 next year. This year, we have 1 coming up at the end of the month, which I haven't told you about yet. So keep an eye out for that. I haven't told you what trial it is. So we'll be going to another one at the end of September. Joe Neal said, no, the guests who talk about old cases. Well, that's their content choice. I don't know. Some people like old cases. All right. Joe Neal says, can you tell him I regret offending? You can ask Lynn Jen, but I don't think Lynn Jen has any pull to get you unbanned. I mean, I might, if I can't get you unbanned, then it ain't going to happen. I mean, I've got the ultimate pull to make things happen, and I can't get it done. So they're not going to unban you, unfortunately. All right. Love you all. Have a good night. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. We'll figure it out. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow night. If you have ideas, actually, this is what I meant to say. If you've seen a trial that you think that Ping should be covering in Victoria, let me know. Sometimes I miss things, or I don't realize they're coming up, even though I have the court schedule on my computer every day. Sometimes I don't click 2 and 2 to who the defendant is and what court case this is. So let me know if you think there's a trial I should be going to the courthouse for and I haven't done it. And 2, if you have any other cases you want me to look at, just email me sundaywithping@gmail.com and I will look into them. and we'll do more things. So get ready. It's going to be a busy September. We've got a bunch of things coming up in about the next 10 days. So look forward to it. But yeah, hit the like button if you haven't, and you haven't subscribed. Please do that. I hope you will just understand that it's just a slow period right now while we sort of get her healthy and let me have a bit of a break after what happened over the winter. But we'll be gearing back up over the next couple of weeks. Diane said, same for my uncle in the UK, universal healthcare, not great there either. Yeah, the UC something or whatever, National Healthcare, NHC or whatever they call it, they've been having a lot of problems over the last 10 years as well. All right. I will see you then. I will do something tomorrow night. If you have a suggestion, let me know. Until then, good night, everyone. Bye.